France is considered the home of inventive cuisine, so much so, even the word cuisine is French. Famous the world over for their rich, delicious dishes served with flair and passion. The French food culture embraces the idea that food should be savoured, enjoyed and experienced. Join us as we explore the cultural flavours of France. France has a uniquely rich history, a history that has sculpted and refined the country's food culture over hundreds of years. Known as one of the style capitals of the world, French cuisine is probably the most important influence in the culinary world today, and the people of France are passionate and proud of their extraordinary food culture.
Well, French cuisine for me would be all about the French people and the passion and time they show for their cooking and their love for eating. Whilst in the country, I noticed that there were lots of shops everywhere you go, especially in Paris. And it's a clear indication of how much time they do spend around the dinner table with friends and family.
Chefs from all over the globe travel to France to learn from the best chefs in the most well-regarded restaurants. France has the world's finest dining experiences, and teams of chefs work together to create food magic.
There's two different styles of cooking. There's a nouvelle cuisine, which is fine dining, which is an art form. It's the best cuisine for me in the world, and it's, I would say, the summit of cooking, if you like, and where it gets more into detail, fine detail of sourcing the produce from all over France and meticulously working it to perform artwork. And then you have the simple, homely cooked meal, which is normally found in some small little bistros where normally family-run businesses where they'll go to the markets, buy their produce, come back, put a few dishes together, and normally you'll find most of the time some old classical dishes on the menu.
The French, like most cultures, vary their flavours by the season. This may not have a huge influence in our modern world, where most herbs and spices are available all year round, but traditional seasonal dishes are still flavoured by the season's produce. Common in many dishes are the staple European herbs that flavour food throughout the world. There are 4 herbs that are considered the mainstay of French flavours. These are known as fung herbe and consist of parsley, chives, tarragon and chervil. In French cuisine, the Italian variety of parsley is considered to be the most versatile and features in many dishes, and is also often used chopped as a garnish. Rosemary and thyme feature prominently in French cuisine, as do basil and marjoram. Fennel is famous for its aniseed flavour and is used from seed or sometimes bulb. The French embraced fennel in the late 19th century, partly due to the popular drink of the time, absinthe, which is flavoured with the aromatic herb. A herb often used in the preparation of white meats and vegetable dishes in France is sage. And finally, herbs are used in unique ways in France. For example, the bouquet garni, which is a bouquet of different herbs wrapped and tied and added to broths, stews and soup to infuse flavour, and of course, herbe de Provence or provincial herbs, which is a mixture of dried herbs, usually dominated by thyme, that is often used on grilled meats and added to vegetables and stews. French food is steeped in tradition, and unlike some cultures which have left some dishes in the past, the French are proud of their culinary history and embrace the unusual ingredients of yesteryear. This dish is probably one of the most famous.
During my experience of spending some time in France, I actually did a harvest in the Bordeaux region, working with some lovely French ladies. Month of September, started raining. We were in between the vines picking grapes for the lovely Bordeaux vintage, and starting to rain, and all of a sudden these French ladies disappear. I'm wondering, where are they? And all of a sudden they come back, and bags full of snails, and also with an invitation for dinner that night. So that's probably the first experience I had with snails, which is quite an interesting one for me, and made me understand how important these little escargots are to the French and their French cuisine.
For this dish, you will obviously need some escargot, or snails. Now don't just grab them out of the garden though. Snails need to be purged or prepared for consumption, and are generally slow cooked in stock to soften the flesh. Also, for this escargot entree, you will need some other basic ingredients.